Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, your number one source for income-oriented investing. And today we're gonna do HYLD versus USCL. This is something that a lot of you have been asking me about. I see a lot of posts about this. Which one should I choose? Which one is better? Let's do a deep dive together, and I actually have some interesting stats for you here today. So first of all, let's compare, or why are we comparing these? Well, these are, I would say, maybe the only enhanced or 25% leveraged S&P 500 covered call ETFs on the Canadian stock market. HYLD is the Hamilton Enhanced US covered call ETF, and then you have USCL, which is the Global X Enhanced S&P 500 covered call ETF. So let's start with the similarities, because they're very, very, very similar. First of all, the management fees are the same at 65 basis points, more or less. Of USCL is just 65 basis points. HYLD has a 0% management fee, but it's subject to the underlying ETFs, which are all Hamilton ETFs, which means that we got to look at the management fees of these, and they're pretty much almost, or all of them are, except for the bond ones, I believe, 65 basis points. So first similarity is the management fee is the same. They're also leveraged 25%. So the MERs are going to be practically identical, because I'm sure these guys, Hamilton and Global X, get approximately the same interest rates for the borrowing, right? They both have 25% leverage. They both borrow. It's both classic leverage. So that's another similarity. So the MER should be very, very close, if not identical. Also, the composition is very, very, very similar. It's trying to do the S&P 500. So USCL is essentially 100% the S&P 500. HYLD is kind of mimicking the exposure of the S&P 500. I think of it more like maybe a concentrated S&P 500, because if we look at what it has, the majority is in SMAX and QMAX ETF, and SMAX is like 25 big cap stocks, or which make up a big portion of the S&P 500. QMAX is technology companies, and then you have other ETFs like US financials, US healthcare, and these are really make up the big three sectors of the S&P 500, right? Technology, healthcare, and financials. But HYLD is a little bit different. So you have AMAX and EMAX, and there's actually a little tiny bit of Canadian stocks in EMAX, energy stocks. There are gold producer stocks. You got 4.9%. By the way, it's 4.9% on 125%. You have some real estate, which is half Canada, half US. So HYLD, although it's like 95% plus US stocks in the S&P 500, there is a little bit of Canada in here, and there is a little bit in bonds here, but a tiny, tiny, tiny portion. The majority is really S&P 500 stocks, just like it says here, a higher yielding alternative to the S&P 500 with similar volatility. So those are the similarities, right? So let's go through the differences now. So the first thing that's different is, like I just talked about, is the holdings, right? USCL is 100% the S&P 500. HYLD is not. It's concentrated in the S&P 500. There's a tiny, tiny bit of Canadian stocks in there, a tiny bit in U.S. bonds. The next major difference is the covered call strategy. So USCL does the covered call strategy of Global X is covered calls on up to 50% of the portfolio at different strike prices. So it could be at the money, a little bit out of the money, but maximum 50% right level. And they're doing index call options. So they're actually writing SPX calls. They're writing calls on the S&P 500 index itself. Whereas Hamilton, the cover call strategy, and of course we need to understand the cover call strategy of their yield maximizer ETFs, which makes up 99% plus of this ETF. They do covered calls on up to 30% of the portfolio, but at the money calls. So at the money calls, which are, aggressive, the most aggressive call options you could do, you're giving up all the upside, but on maximum of 30% of the portfolio, not 50% of the portfolio. And another key difference is they're writing these covered calls on the single stocks. They're not writing index calls. They're actually writing calls on these single stocks. So for example, if we open up SMAX, just to give you an idea of this is what the majority of HYLD is, you have ExxonMobil, Costco, Visa, Berg, Johnson & Johnson, MasterCard, Apple, et cetera, right? Really the big players on the S&P 500. So they're actually writing the calls on the individual stocks themselves, which is being managed by Nick Picard, who we all know. He's been on the channel many times. He's a covered call expert. I highly recommend you see the Q&As that I have with Nick. I actually have, at the time that I'm filming this video, I have one scheduled for next week where we talk about covered calls in detail, and I've had a full big long Q&A with him explaining his stance on covered calls and Hamilton's strategy, so you could check that out. So that's another main difference. That's the second one out of three. It's the covered call strategy, a little bit different between the two. And what I would say is more the major difference, or the biggest difference, the third one, is the currency hedging. So USCL is not hedged to the Canadian dollar. HYLD is hedged to the Canadian dollar, like you could see here. So that means that if the Canadian dollar gets weaker compared to the US dollar, that will help USCL and it will hurt HYLD, but the opposite is also true. So another way you could say it is, if you believe in the American dollar and you don't believe in the Canadian dollar, well, USCL would be probably the one you'll gravitate to if that's your consideration. And of course, if the opposite is true, you'll go to HYLD. But one thing to remember is that they do have an unhedged version, HYLD.U. However, HYLD.U, you need to buy it and sell it in USD currency. You'll get your dividend in USD currency. So there is no there's no HYLD.B. There's no unhedged Canadian currency version of HYLD yet. So, but there is HYLD.U if you want the unhedged version of HYLD, but the one that's not hedged to Canadian dollar, but you have to buy it in USD currency. So those are the three main differences. Those are the similarities. By the way, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. You like these styles of videos where I do like ETF battles. And by the way, keep messaging me, keep leaving comments on what videos you want to see next. I might not be able to respond to everyone, but it does give me ideas for upcoming content. Remember, I'm creating this content for you. All right, so now let's look at the returns, right? Very important we look at the returns. So if we do just a full-blown return using the Canada Stock Channel, which compares two ETFs, and it's going to choose the right start date. So you always need the same start date and end date when you're doing a comparison. You see that right now HYLD is lagging behind a little bit USCL in terms of total return. And that's completely understandable. And you see that it really started happening recently near the end of 2024, and that is a direct correlation with the currency, right? So the Canadian dollar was getting weaker and weaker, and that's really, in my opinion, why I think HYLD is underperforming USCL. But of course, if the opposite happened, the opposite could occur, right? If the Canadian dollar starts getting stronger and stronger, then this could flip eventually. But pretty similar performance here. Another thing we need to remember, everyone, is that HYLD only became the HYLD that we love in February of 2024, because before that it had some third-party ETFs in there. Not going to get into that, but you guys pretty much know. So HYLD really became the HYLD that we love today, with exclusively Hamilton ETFs, in my opinion, much better. I used to have QYLD and RYLD and XYLD and other stuff. So they kicked those out for their own. So they drastically made the fund better. They reduced the fees and the efficiency. So if you do a return comparison starting in February 1st, 2024, we'll see that it's a little bit closer, but it's still underperforming. And it's really, you could see here, really during that time where the Canadian dollar started getting destroyed or getting much weaker. That makes the difference here. So in terms of performance, I know everyone's asking, which one is better? Which one should I invest in? Well, let's continue the performance analysis, and then I have something interesting to show you. So when it comes to what really these should be compared to, it's the S&P, the corresponding Vanguard Canadian listed S&P 500. So for HYLD, you have to compare it to VSP, not VFV, because VSP is the Vanguard S&P 500 hedged to the Canadian dollar, and for USCL, we will compare it to VFV because it's not hedged. Right, so if you do HYLD versus VSP starting in February 1st of 2024, like I said, when HYLD really became HYLD that we know and love, you see that HYLD is performing phenomenally. It's actually outperforming VSP with dividends reinvested and not reinvested. So this is a very, very good sign. Very good sign. It's beating the S&P 500. Okay, guys? And that's including the latest drop, which now is going back up, obviously. But you could see the correlation is very, very close here, how very, close it is. But in terms of performance, it's doing really, really, really well versus the, apples to apples here. If we do USCL versus VFV, it's a similar story, and it was outperforming a couple of weeks ago or a month ago when I last checked, but right now it's just a little bit underperforming VFV. It's almost identical. You can see that the chart is very similar as well. It follows it very, 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 very closely. You could see here that it's pretty much just on par. And just for fun, actually this is January 1st, 2024. So USCL came out in, I think, July or mid 2023, but I usually do the total return starting in January 1st, 2024, because I think, I don't know, something might have happened. I'll just show you what I mean. So if we just switch it to 2023, so it'll take the start date of July 6, 2023. You'll see that it is actually underperforming greatly. Well, not greatly, a little bit. VFV 27.27 versus 32.76. So I don't really know why that when we go back 7 months more, it's underperforming. But if we just do starting from January 1st of 2024, the performance is much better. My hunch or my suspicion, everyone, I talked about this before, is that when you're doing index options, covered call ETFs in general, they tend to get more efficient once they get bigger and bigger and bigger. So maybe those first months they didn't have a lot of AUM, the options trading wasn't as efficient, it costed more. I'm not sure. I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm just saying my suspicion. But if we do a total return starting just 7 months later, 6 months later, you'll see that it's much, much better. It's not underperforming. So that's it for performance. So in my opinion, they're both performing they're doing their job. They're performing similar, identical, and in HYLD's case, a little bit better than the corresponding S&P 500. So even the performance, I believe, is very similar between them. The yield is very, very similar. Let's talk about distributions and yield. So HYLD has kept their distribution or has raised their distribution slightly ever since they got out of those third-party ETFs. So it's been nice little increases here, and right now it's at 14.5 cents, and it has not reduced it because of the recent volatility because of the Trump tariffs. But USCL did slightly reduce it a little bit recently from 25.5 cents a month to 23.5 cents. But you have to remember that this ETF started at 23 cents a month. Then it went to 25.5, and now it's at 23.5. So it's actually the distribution is a little bit higher than it originally started at. So even the distributions and the yield are very, very similar. USCL is just under 14% yield. HYLD is at about 14% yield. So distribution rate yields are also very, very similar. So how do you choose? How do you choose, everyone? Before we get into that, one of the good things, or one of the essential things, if you really want to see the right performance, is obviously we cannot do HYLD versus USCL because of the currency hedging. But what if we do HYLD.U versus USCL? This is something I was not able to do here. I was not able to find the tool. So I actually asked the guys at Hamilton to use their Bloomberg terminal or something, give me a total return comparison to the Canadian dollar. So it's a bit hard to do because HYLD.U is in USD and USCL is in Canadian. But if we do the conversion, what does HYLD.U versus USCL look like? And here it is, guys. Check this out. This is HYLD.U converted to Canadian dollars versus USCL. And look how close it is. This is starting in January 2024 until the end of January 31st. Okay. No, sorry. It's since start date January 31st, 2024, to the end of February 28, 2025. So that is the start date and end date. Again, January 31st, 2024 to February 28, 2025. Wow, that was hard to get out. But look how pretty close it is. You see that as of at the end of February 28, 2025, HYLD has a tiny edge over USCL, but you could see how close it is. So it's very close. So guys, in my opinion, in my personal opinion, if you're trying to decide which one is better, which one is best for you, it's a waste of time because they're so close. Maybe you like the strategy better. Maybe you like HYLD strategy better because they're doing calls on the single stocks instead of the S&P 500 covered call options or index calls. Or you like USCL because you believe more in the American dollar versus the Canadian dollar. But if you look at it holistically in the grand scheme of things, to me, they're pretty much potato, tomato. Okay, they're very even in terms of yield, in terms of fees, in terms of performance. I think the major difference that makes a difference is the currency. And this is personally why I decided to have both of them in my portfolio. There's nothing wrong with having both of them in your portfolio as well, everyone. So I, as you probably know, have both of these in my portfolio, and I consider them a unit. And by doing that, you're kind of mitigating currencies, the Canadian US currency, right? So I'm going to continue to have both of them. I like both of them. I like both providers. I like both strategies. The fee's the same. I love the 25% leverage. You guys know that my favorite type of fund is covered calls and 25% leverage. I'm impressed with everything, including the yield, the performance, the distributions. I'm always going to expect between 12 and 14.5% yield for both of these. So that's my opinion on this. I don't think one is better than the other. I personally am choosing to have both of them. Maybe you think one is better than the other. But it's completely up to you. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 100,000. I need your help, guys, to get to 100,000 subscribers. I would really appreciate it. Don't forget to check the links in the video description below. I still get questions about do you offer a coaching session and this and that, and how do I join the inner circle? Everything, including for those programs, including for affiliate links, everything is in the video description below. So make sure to check it out. Again, hit that thumbs up button and see you next time.